Ronnie here with a new CCB training video. Today we're going to talk about setting up calendar events so that they can be published on the church's main website, centerchurchsd.com. And for those of you who don't know, we have a link in the primary menu here called Coming Up. And this is where you'll find the new master calendar of events of everything going on and happening at Center Church. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a real quick tutorial on how you can create a new event so that everybody within the church can get information or contact you or RSVP to your event, and essentially so you can make it known, as this is also viewable on mobile and tablet platforms to keep everybody apprised of everything that's happening here at Center Church. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is open up a new tab here, or if you're not already, and log on to the CCB website for Center Church, which in this case is simply centerchurch.ccbchurch.com. And we're going to start off all of these tutorials in the future assuming that you're already logged in, but since I'm not logged in this particular instance, we'll go through the login process as well. So this is the login interface to log into CCB, which will get you access to all the resources and such that you need to administer your ministry. So I'm going to put my name in here, my login, which is it's actually here, so I'm just going to use my handy dandy fingerprint. And we're on. So it brings you to the main home screen here when you first log in. And to create a new calendar event, you want to scroll down here on the left-hand side to where it says, did I miss it? Yeah, calendar. Click on calendar, and you're going to see pretty much the same calendar that was on the website, with the exception of some of these other events that are specific to groups. So in this case, for example, G501 Barrio Logan, this is information and an event that's specific to a women's group that was being held or is currently being held in Bankers Hill. And so what you want to do is, when you get this calendar, you can, on the right hand side here, you can choose which calendar to view, and in this case, by default, CCB opens you up to the all events administrative calendar if you have administrative access, but if not, it'll open it up to your specific group calendar wherever you might have a credential and or are a leader or director of that group. So it doesn't matter, any one of these calendars will work, but at the end of the day, everything's going to the public calendar, so you might as well go ahead and start off there and see all of the events that are being published currently to the website on the public calendar, as that's where we're going to be adding this particular event as a sample. So as you'll notice, again, it's very similar to the one you see on the website. I'll click back here on the website and you can see that this mirrors pretty much what you see in CCB. Okay, so it's not rocket science. All we're going to do is add to this. And so the way you do that is you simply find the date in which you want to create your event. So let's say we're going to create an event for this weekend, the 25th, Sunday. And you'll notice that there's a link here called Add Event. And that appears no matter which day you hover over. It's just, again, it's congruent with the date that you want to hold your event. So I'm going to do one here for the 25th, which is this Sunday. I'll click on it, and then it starts the Create Event interface. And the first thing it's going to present you with is whether or not you need any rooms and resources. 99% of the time, you're not going to need to do this. CCB does keep track of lots of different assets that the church has, including rooms and venues and such. But for the most part, most of the events that you're going to post are going to be using the second option here, in which no rooms or resources are needed. So I'm going to choose that radio button, and then it opens up the rest of the Create Event interface. So first thing it's going to ask for is the event name. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and create another event, and let's call it Picnic in the Park Episode 2. just because I'm not feeling very creative today. Now, in this interface, it gives you the option to choose a file, and usually if I click that button, it'll ask me to upload a file that I can associate with this particular event posting. More often than not, this is used for like images. Say you wanted to, you had a nice picture, let's say, of your event that you're promoting. You can click on this button, and it would open up your computer to allow you to choose either a picture or if you had a PDF file, let's say, for teaching materials that you wanted to include that people could download from the event posting. You could do that here, and then in the description box, that's pretty self-explanatory. So you just type in a real quick description if you don't have an image of what the event is going to be about. So in this case, join us for part 2 of our summer picnic in the park celebration events. Open to everyone. Boy, bring the whole family. All right, and look at a little typo there. So once you got the description in, you want to all this information that we're putting in here will show up in the final posting, and I'll show you that how it looks and appears on the website when we get all done. The next thing you want to do here is type in the group name. So for any public events, you always want to use a group called Open Events, and if you just start typing it in, CCB knows all the events that are within the system. I could add this to Open Events. I could add this to a men's group. Let's see. I know there's a men's group in here. Yeah, okay, so there's a men's group in Chula Vista. All this is doing is it's associating this event with a particular group. But again, for all public events that are going to be displayed on the website that are church-wide, essentially, you want to make sure that you use the event, or rather the group called Open Events. Very important. So make sure you choose that. And then next you want to type in the organizer. So in this case, I don't know, I wouldn't be organizing this. This is probably something Pastor Marcus would do. So let's put in Marcus. And then next you can put in a phone number. So this is just, again, so somebody, if they had any questions, obviously they could contact you. And I'll just put my phone number in here for ease of demonstration. And then of course the date, by default it falls on the same date that you clicked the add event link. If it was an all-day event, you could check this here, and it would just essentially block out that entire day. Or in this case, let's say the last picnic in the park event we had went basically after church. So let's say from 12 o'clock until say 2. So we got a couple-hour picnic in the park there. It does give you some other parameters where you can put in set up and clean up times in there to just give you a better handle on your timing and use, again, of the assets or any resources if you were gonna say rent or use a room that we had available to us. But otherwise you can leave it blank. If it was a repeating event, you could click this box, and you could make that a weekly thing that we're having, or it's something if you wanted to do daily, whatever it is. Check the appropriate box for recurring if it is indeed a repeating event. In this case, we're just doing this for this one day, and then other things like location name. So in this case, let's go back to Balboa Park, and the address, what is it, 6th and Laurel, and that's in our America's finest city, San Diego, California, 92103, I believe. And then, real important, do not check this box here, require leader approval or form response to get on the guest list. in a nutshell, all that's going to do is create a bottleneck because the event will not be posted until that's reviewed by an appropriate individual with the credentials to approve the event so that it goes public and live. So don't do that. For the most part, if you have access to this interface, then you already have the permissions, and we just trust that what you put up here is going to be at the very worst G-rated, and obviously acceptable, and is approved by the church for publication on our website. Once that's all done, then you just click on the Save button, and it takes you back. Now, what it's essentially done is it's taking you back to the CCB main interface, and it's created the event. But we're not done. So you'll notice here the tab Publish. We still have to publish this event so that it's available and viewable on the church master calendar website. So the way you do that is here on where it says Public Calendar. You want to go ahead and click this link where it says Add to Calendar. And what that'll do is just make the event now visible, so that when we go back to the website, we can see the event posting. So let's go back and check that now. If we go back to this tab here, which is the Center Church website, and we created for the 25th, but it hasn't posted yet. So let's refresh this page, and now if we look, voila, Picnic in the Park episode 2. If I click on it, it gives you all that information, again, that we entered into the interface, including information about the description, the location, who the event organizer is, and any contact information. What's also interesting about creating events in CCB is that it allows you to actually manage an RSVP log. So if, for example, you had something where you wanted to maintain a head count of some sort, or at least keep track of it, it gives you the ability to do so. The individual RSVPing needs to have a CCB login or some credential at least to access the CCB database in order to use this function. So if I were to click this, it's going to ask for the username and password. So in this case, I would put my information here, and then I could RSVP as myself. But since this isn't a live event or anything that we necessarily need to keep track of, I'll just exit out of that and cancel that. And then to get back to the calendar, you simply click off the interface, and it takes you back to the main screen. So that's it. If you have any additional questions, or would like some information on some other details, like you can also publish links within your posting. So if I go back to this event here, there is the CCB does provide us the ability to actually put links, and like I said, even have documents or pictures and images in here to help augment and promote your event, so that it looks really nice when you publish it live. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or you can contact me via email, which is usually the best way to get hold of me in this regard. Ronnie, RONNIE, at centerchurchsd.com. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video, and we'll see you on the next one.